Hi guys, I'm Kristian Peter and I'm going to be leading you through this Airbnb investing webinar. This is a meetup event that I have created a YouTube video around. So we're going to talk about how to make money using Airbnb and what's going on with the stock now in 2021 and beyond. Let's dive right in. So currently Airbnb stock is trading at about $181 a share. It opened up back about 2 months ago now, right around 150 when it originally scheduled its IPO at about $68 I think a share was where it originally got priced at. So it's trading at about 2.5, 3 times the value of the IPO. It has been in the 200s recently, but now it's recessed a little bit back to 180. I'm going to show you this quick video clip from CNBC, and they talk about what went on in their last quarter 4 of 2020, and how it compared also to what's been going on with the amount of bookings as compared to a lot of the other travel portals that are out there, so that you can get an idea on what the current state of the industry is. We're seeing a lot of bookings come in, especially for spring and into the summer of this year, 2021. And I think that this CNBC video can solidify that.
Tom, I'll come to you first. Did they prove the type of resilience that you were looking for?
Yeah, I think you'd have to say that they have. Look, the two things that stood out to me at looking at the numbers here. One, just the revenue outperformance. So revenues declined about 22% year over year, excluding the impact of FX. The street was, I think, expecting kind of a down 35% number. So yes, certainly resilient. And if you compare their revenue performance to some of the other online travel assets that Airbnb gets compared to, like Booking Holdings or an Expedia, both of those companies saw their revenues down, north of 60% year over year. So Airbnb down 22%. The other thing that stood out is, there's been a lot of discussion about how this recovery in travel globally has really not been particularly linear, which is something I think investors would like to see, is sort of a steady trajectory of improvement in the underlying trends. And for a lot of the companies, it hasn't been linear. But Airbnb in a letter talked about the first quarter revenue growth forecast does show, a moderating pace of a further moderation in the revenue decline. So there does seem to be a little bit more maybe linearity in Airbnb's recovery than some of the other companies in the space.
Your take, Angelo?
I would echo all those comments. I mean, when you kind of look at the results here, I mean, it definitely shows a lot of resiliency relative to the broader travel space. I mean, you're looking at sales down only 22% relatively to where we were originally looking at, about down 34%. Looking at the gross bookings value, also significantly better than where we had anticipated. We would have liked to have seen a 2021 outlook, but, definitely didn't anticipate one. Managing costs extremely well, kind of amid the pandemic. And, I think they're very well positioned kind of going here into 2021 as we kind of start seeing that recovery into the second half of the year.
So how, Tom, did they prove more resilient than the rest of the travel sector? What sort of pivots did Airbnb make, and how does that set them up for post-pandemic?
Yeah, so look, I wouldn't say that they made any pivots. If anything, the pivot was just focusing on the core, and that's really focusing on hosts first and foremost. Also, this idea of just sort of local experiences and really kind of sticking to that core knitting of what Airbnb started with. I think the way I like to think about it is, over the course of the pandemic, Airbnb went from being a true alternative in the eyes of a lot of people who were looking to book lodgings to now being really kind of a standard or a typical way that people are going to look to travel. So we think they're positioned pretty well post-pandemic. As I said, great new customer acquisition opportunity the pandemic has clearly been for Airbnb. And the pandemic's also opened up some new use cases, we think, for this business. Things like work from home, work from anywhere, that I think could provide solid tailwinds here for the business in the future.
So who is the home company? I created a real estate brokerage that focuses on value-added opportunities where there are properties that we can repurpose or convert into additional money-making ventures. So we got into Airbnb about 8 years ago now, and started using our primary residence as a vacation rental when we left town on vacation ourselves. We quickly found out that it was an amazing opportunity because we could get a revenue stream while we were on vacation. Sometimes it paid for our entire vacation, especially when we took trips to places like Barcelona or Venice, ended up staying in Airbnbs while we were there, and had people in our home in San Diego paying for us to be on vacation, which is absolutely great. We've helped our friends, family, clients, convert their properties, and also to be able to utilize a lot of the short-term rental opportunities that are there for their longer-term leases. So if you've got a property that you've been renting out for years and get $1,500 a month on your lease, there's obviously ways that you can convert that into a shorter-term rental, maybe get $100 or $150 a night, which equates to $3,000 or $4,000 a month, whereas you're only getting $1,500 a month as a long-term lease. So those are just some of the real estate opportunities that are out there. I've been a real estate broker for over 20 years, buying, selling, investing in all types of properties. Currently own investments in Houston, Texas, New Mexico, Las Vegas, and all throughout California. So what's going on with Airbnb right now? They're continuing to grow, even though their revenue shrank a little bit, as you heard in the video, 22% in the last quarter. They are growing significantly. They are actually really focused in now on their main core business, which is hosts, and getting as many more hosts as they possibly can onto the platform. There are going to be a lot of opportunities, as you heard with Booking.com and some of the other travel industry portals that are out there. Their revenue has shrank tremendously as compared to Airbnb. So there's going to be a lot of merger and acquisition opportunities going forward. I think Airbnb is going to acquire some of their competition. They may merge with them, but there are going to be a lot of really good synergistic opportunities. My biggest one I think is going to happen, and I've been predicting this ever since the IPO, is that they'll take over a company like TripAdvisor, which has been losing market share. And TripAdvisor is full of amazing content and has a great community. And that's what Airbnb is really about, is creating that community of travel enthusiasts, and also to being able to get that content that people share on the platform that otherwise you wouldn't know about. Like, what's the best animal to go look at the zoo, or, how can you get this walking tour that's only offered one time a week? You might be able to get that information from TripAdvisor where you wouldn't be able to find it anywhere else. And now Airbnb is creating experiences around that, which really is the cherry on top when it comes to travel, right? You want to not only travel to San Diego or Barcelona or Venice, you want to know what to do when you get there. And what better way to get content, right, than from people who live in the city where you're traveling to? Those hosts provide the most amazing opportunities. You'll learn about what to do, when to do it. Go tour this place. Only on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. is when they offer this special tour behind the scenes. You want to have that experience when you travel, not just get to that city, but you want to actually do something that nobody else has done before. So our listings, again, are seeing an incredible amount of traffic, especially since the vaccines have really started to roll out here. So we're starting to see all of our properties get completely booked and get booked at really high rates, which is nice as well. Where we were charging $200 or $300 a night, we're able to get $300 or $400 a night now, and more than that in some instances. And as we get into the summer months, especially in San Diego, July is by far the best travel month in all of San Diego, where prices usually double, sometimes 2.5 times what they are during a normal month. July is the time when people really come to San Diego. What do we do a little bit differently? We show footage of everywhere around the property. So if you utilize Google Earth, you can actually show landmarks, and you can show proximity between where you're staying and what people really want to see. Those things are extremely important. We also use a lot of aerial photography now and drone video, because it really gives people a great idea of the neighborhood and the community and the surroundings and everything that's there and what they can do. And and it really builds that anticipation. A lot of these things that you'll see too, it's amazing to me that other travel hospitality businesses don't include them, like hotels and other places where people have as destinations. Why not provide a lot of the tools that are there? One of the other things that we do is always provide a floor plan of the accommodation. A lot of times even hotels and things, again, don't do that, where you can create a floor plan of a home in under an hour and be able to post that online and give people a extremely good overview of what the accommodation looks like, where the living room is, where the bedrooms and bathrooms are, so that they can plan their trip accordingly. You really want to know what that house looks like. It's not just 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's what the layout is, how big the kitchen is, if there's a dining room, all of those aspects of the accommodation that otherwise people wouldn't know. What's really taken off, especially over the last couple of years, is 3D floor plans and renderings. As you can see, you can really get detailed. The dollhouse views that are offered by companies like Matterport, and there are a lot of other companies out there now that will give you the ability to showcase a property and make it really, really presentable. So even if you don't have the nicest home or the newest home, you can add those attributes to the house or to the property that make it really stand out, right? You want to go to this place that looks brand new, where you can see, what the doors and windows and rooms and kitchen and bathrooms look like, and how you're going to be living there for the week or, a couple of days while you're there on vacation. It's really important to give people those visual images of what a property looks like, so that they can really get in tune with their experience and have a more pleasant time while they're there as well. It also increases the reviews and the desirability of other people, right? When they see somebody that stayed at a residence and they have a really amazing review, a lot of that comes from how they felt before they got there, right? If they saw the place and they liked it and they fell in love with it, that's half the battle. So our properties, like I said, are getting extreme traction right now, including the properties that we have, where this one is actually $1,370 a night, and it is almost completely booked up from spring through almost now the end of summer. July, as you may know, as I mentioned before, is a really great time for travel in San Diego, and we see sometimes prices that are twice as high. So this property may be $2,000 a night in some of the most desirable times in San Diego, which is 4th of July weekend and the Comic-Con week. So that's it for this presentation. I hope you enjoyed everything. Please make sure to give the video a like. Also subscribe to the channel. If you've got any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see. I'd love to interview some other Airbnb hosts and have those interviews available on the channel. Also to understand other tips and tricks, how you're using the short-term rental platforms to increase your revenue. We not only use Airbnb, we use VRBO, HomeAway, TripAdvisor, Travelocity. We don't get as many bookings. I say Airbnb is probably 90 to 95% of the traffic that we get to our short-term rentals, but those other platforms are useful as well. I've got an Airbnb referral link so that if you're not an Airbnb member, please use that. The first time that you stay, you'll get a discount, and I believe we get a discount as well, or a travel credit, which is awesome. And if you need to schedule anything, feel free to go visit my website, kristianpeter.com. You can schedule a quick Zoom call. We can chat about anything that you'd like. Again, hope you enjoyed this and got the most out of it, and